There are no coincidences. This moment has been orchestrated, drawing you into a revelation that will shift your perception forever. Something powerful is stirring beneath the surface, a force beyond ordinary comprehension, and whether or not you're prepared, the path ahead is already unfolding. This is not an easy road. It is one that comes with resistance, with unseen forces attempting to block what they cannot control. The weight of your purpose is undeniable, and because of that, opposition is inevitable. This is not a warning, it is a declaration. Every challenge that arises, every attempt to derail you, is proof that you are stepping into something far greater than you once imagined. There are those who will try to undermine, those who will seek to pull you into a space where doubt and fear reign. But they do not realize that every obstacle placed before you is only refining the very power they hoped to suppress. The foundation being built cannot be shaken, and the trials meant to break you will only serve to reveal the depth of your resilience. What they fear most is not your downfall. It is the realization that you were never meant to fall at all. There are those who operate under the illusion that their actions carry no weight, moving through life as if their choices vanish into the void. They weave deception, fueled by their own arrogance, believing they are untouchable. But what they fail to realize is that the very fabric of existence is woven with equilibrium. What is given is always returned. The cycle is relentless, an unseen tide pulling everything back to its rightful place. No misdeed is lost in time. No betrayal remains buried. When the echoes of their own actions start closing in, they will come to understand the gravity of what they have set in motion. The whispers of their past will transform into a deafening reality, unraveling every illusion they once relied on. It will be a reckoning beyond their comprehension, a force set in motion long before they ever thought they could escape the inevitable. There is no shelter from the forces they have unleashed, and soon they will find themselves standing at the center of a storm of their own making, one they never saw coming but always deserved. The most powerful response to those who sought to harm is not vengeance, but the decision to rise above their reach. No wound inflicted can overshadow the weight of their own reckoning, the unavoidable consequences that now unfold before them. There are unseen forces working beyond the limits of human perception, forces that shield against the negativity cast in your direction. Every attempt to derail your journey is intercepted. Every malicious intent dissolves before it can take root. Protection is not a distant ideal, but an ever-present force, enveloping like an impenetrable veil. The harder they push, the stronger the unseen walls become. Attempts to hinder growth only reinforce the barriers that guard the path ahead. This is the mark of those destined for something greater, an existence safeguarded from destruction. No amount of malice can extinguish a flame that was never meant to be put out. Keep walking forward, untouched by the weight of their actions, for the shield that guards you is beyond their understanding. Some people recoil at the mere presence of those whose strength cannot be bent to their will. There is an unshakable force within certain souls, a radiance that unsettles those who are bound by their own limitations. It is not the words spoken nor the actions taken that provoke resistance. It is the undeniable presence of something they lack. The steadiness, the refusal to waver, the quiet certainty of someone who stands rooted in their truth. This is enough to unearth discomfort in those who have yet to find their own. Instead of confronting their own inadequacies, they seek to challenge what they do not understand. but no amount of resistance can dull the brilliance of something that was made to shine. Opposition is merely an indication of impact, proof that the presence of something unbreakable disrupts the fragile illusions others cling to. Let them be unsettled. Let them wrestle with their own shadows. The light will not flicker. It will only burn brighter. For nothing is hidden that will not be made manifest, nor is anything secret that will not be known and come to light. Luke 8:17. Imagine a beautiful garden filled with vibrant flowers and strong, towering trees. At first glance, everything seems perfect, until you notice the vines creeping along the ground, wrapping around the roots, slowly choking the life from everything that stands tall. These vines do not strike suddenly, nor do they make their presence known right away. Instead, they move subtly, inch by inch, feeding off the strength of what they cling to, tightening their hold until what was once thriving is left drained and lifeless. That, my friend, is how deception works. It doesn't show up in its true form. It comes wrapped in flattery, disguised in familiarity, and before you know it, it has made itself at home in places it was never meant to be. There exists an insidious force that thrives on manipulation, a relentless entity that feasts on insecurity and seeks to control through illusion. It moves silently, working through those who wear the mask of kindness, slipping into conversations with words designed to twist truth into doubt. It is a master of distortion, luring in the unsuspecting with carefully constructed lies, creating division where unity once stood, whispering confusion into the minds of those who once walked in certainty. Like a well-rehearsed act, it weaves its way into the fabric of relationships, tightening its grip before its victims even realize they've been ensnared. But let me tell you something. This force, for all its deception, has no power of its own. It does not create, it only takes. It does not stand on its own strength. It only survives by feeding off those who allow it space in their lives. It is like a parasite, clinging to whatever it can, growing stronger only when it is given permission to remain. And the greatest trick it has ever played is convincing people that it cannot be defeated, that it is too deeply rooted to be pulled out, that it is too powerful to be ignored. But the moment you recognize it for what it is, the moment you stop feeding it your energy, its grip begins to loosen. Just like those choking vines in the garden, it can be stripped away, pulled from the roots, and cast out. And when that happens, its hold disappears. It is not resistance that weakens it, it is disengagement. It cannot withstand being seen for what it truly is. When you step away, when you remove yourself from its reach, it is left with nothing. And without a source to drain, without a mind to manipulate, without a soul to attach itself to, it withers into nothingness. You see, the battle was never about defeating it with force. It was always about refusing to let it take hold in the first place. It cannot exist where it is not welcomed. It cannot thrive where it is not entertained. And the moment you step out of its grasp, the only thing left behind is the hollow remains of a battle it was never meant to win. So hear me when I say this. Walk in discernment. Guard your heart, protect your mind, and be mindful of the company you keep. Because the enemy is not always loud. Sometimes it comes with a smile. But deception will always be exposed, and those who see the truth will always walk free. Let them think they have power. Let them believe they are in control. But watch what happens when you simply stop playing the game. That, my friend, is how you win. True resilience is built not through force, but through transformation. With every layer of understanding gained, external influences lose their hold, and illusions that once seemed impenetrable dissolve into nothingness. There is a shift that occurs when awareness expands, a quiet, undeniable shift that turns obstacles into mere distractions. What once disrupted the mind and drained the spirit becomes powerless in the presence of clarity. Growth is not a passive process. It demands introspection, shedding what no longer serves and stepping into a version of existence that is no longer vulnerable to past patterns. Strength is not measured by how much is endured, but by how much is transcended. And as each new stage is reached, resistance diminishes. What once required conscious effort to repel now bounces off effortlessly, never truly touching what has become untouchable. The journey forward is no longer hindered by what lurks in the shadows. It is illuminated by the certainty of unshakable purpose. The urge to respond when wronged is deeply ingrained, an instinctive call to reclaim control in the face of injustice. It tempts with the illusion of power, whispering that striking back will restore balance. But engaging in conflict with those who thrive in chaos only pulls energy into their realm, draining the very force meant to propel forward. The greatest display of strength is not in retaliation, but in choosing to remain untouchable. Walking away from battles that do not serve a higher purpose is not weakness, it is wisdom. When nothing disrupts inner peace, no force can dictate the course of destiny. Every attempt to provoke is a revelation, a glimpse into the limitations of those who seek to pull others down. True dominance is found in remaining unshaken, in allowing actions and success to speak where words and revenge never could. The real victory is not in proving anything to the ones who wish to see failure, but in rising so far beyond their reach that their efforts fade into insignificance. Not all who walk alongside are moving in the same direction. Some stand in the shadows, observing, waiting, uncertain of whether to support or to sabotage. There are those who appear as allies, yet their presence carries an unspoken weight, an energy that subtly misaligns with the path ahead. Awareness sharpens over time, making it impossible to ignore the quiet signals that reveal who truly belongs. It is in the smallest gestures, the unguarded reactions, the silent resistance to another's growth that truth is uncovered. But just as those with concealed intentions become visible, so too do the ones whose loyalty is unwavering. They are the ones who uplift without demand, who celebrate without competition, who offer strength without expectation. The journey forward does not require an abundance of companions, only the presence of those whose energy amplifies rather than diminishes. Moving with clarity means recognizing who strengthens the foundation and who quietly seeks to chip away at its edges. The difference becomes undeniable, and once seen, it cannot be unseen. There will always be those who operate from a space of negativity, attempting to project their own turmoil onto those around them. Their presence is not a reflection of your energy, but of the internal battles they have yet to confront. They move through life sowing discord, hoping to entangle others in their chaos. But their influence only holds weight when given attention. Every encounter with them serves as a reminder of the power of detachment. The more aligned you become with your purpose, the more their attempts to disrupt your path fade into irrelevance. Their actions do not dictate your journey. Rather, they highlight the resilience required to remain unmoved. What was meant to be an obstacle transforms into fuel for growth, pushing forward instead of holding back. No external force can interfere with what is divinely set in motion. Let their energy remain theirs to carry. Your focus is far beyond the distractions they create. Guidance is never absent, even in moments of uncertainty. There is an unseen force at work, weaving together the events of life with precision and intention. The feeling of being led, the inexplicable moments of clarity, the unexpected confirmations that appear at just the right time. None of it is coincidence. The deeper the connection to this presence, the clearer the path becomes. Every challenge faced is met with unseen assistance, a force that ensures alignment even when direction seems unclear. There is no separation between the physical and the unseen. Both work in tandem, orchestrating experiences that shape the journey ahead. The more awareness expands, the more these signals become undeniable. No moment of hardship is without purpose, no delay is without meaning. There is a greater plan unfolding, one that cannot be derailed. Trust in the process, for even when the destination is not yet visible, the road leading there is always guided. Every action sets something in motion, weaving an unseen thread into the fabric of existence. The choices made, the harm inflicted, the intentions behind every move, none of it fades into nothingness. Though it may seem that some escape the weight of their own deeds, the truth is far different. Consequences are not always immediate, but they are inevitable. The balance of existence demands it. What is sent out must return, often in ways beyond comprehension. It is not for the one who has been wronged to seek justice. The course has already been set. The universe corrects in its own time, ensuring that every action meets its rightful echo. Watching or waiting for it is unnecessary. It unfolds regardless. The energy, once misused, circles back to its source, leaving no room for escape. What was meant to hinder will, in time, dismantle its creator. There is no force strong enough to halt what is meant to ascend. Attempts to create roadblocks, to interfere with the course of destiny, are nothing more than futile gestures against something far greater. Those who operate in deceit believe they can manipulate outcomes, but the truth remains unchanged. No amount of opposition can stand against a path that was carved through purpose. What is built on falsehood collapses under its own weight, while what is rooted in clarity continues to rise. The more resistance is applied, the stronger the foundation becomes. Failure is not for the one moving forward. It is reserved for those who attempt to obstruct the inevitable. There is no downfall for what is meant to elevate, only a continual unfolding of what was always destined to be. Awakening is a shift, an irreversible expansion that alters every perception. It is the moment when illusions unravel, when the world is seen not as it was presented, but as it truly is. At first, the magnitude of this realization may feel overwhelming. The structures that once seemed solid reveal their fragility, and the patterns of the past become clear. Yet within this shift lies the greatest gift, the ability to move beyond what once confined, to step fully into the understanding of self, purpose, and connection. With awareness comes liberation, a shedding of limitations that once seemed immovable. The journey is not without difficulty, but every challenge met refines the strength that already exists. What once seemed distant becomes instinctive, and what once caused doubt is replaced by certainty. This transformation is not an end, but a beginning, the opening of a path filled with clarity, power, and an unshakable sense of belonging to something far beyond the physical world. The path they have chosen is already leading them toward their own undoing. Every deception, every calculated move, meant to disrupt another's peace, carries a price they have yet to realize. What they believed was a game played in the shadows has instead set into motion forces beyond their control. There is no escaping the energy they have put into the world. It is already making its way back to them, gathering momentum with every passing moment. The illusion of triumph will not last. What was built on deceit will inevitably crumble, and the reckoning that awaits them will be far greater than anything they ever imagined. There is no need to watch, no need to wait. Balance restores itself in its own time, and nothing can stop what has already begun. What lies ahead is limitless. Every attempt to obstruct, every effort to hold back progress, only reinforces the inevitable rise. The foundation has already been laid, and nothing can diminish the force of forward momentum. Growth is not hindered by opposition, it is fueled by it. The higher the elevation, the less the weight of interference is felt. The path is clear, expanding with every step taken. This is not an end. It is the opening of something far greater than what has come before. The ascent is constant, unshaken, and unstoppable. Challenges are not barriers. They are the fire that forges strength. Each trial that arises is not meant to break, but to refine, pushing past limits once thought unmovable. Resistance is not an enemy. It is the very force that sharpens resilience, molding raw potential into unshakable power. Difficulties are not placed in the way to halt progress, but to carve the path toward greater wisdom and clarity. The weight of adversity is not a burden. It is the very thing that strengthens the foundation, making it unyielding to anything that follows. Looking back, what once seemed insurmountable will reveal itself as the very thing that solidified an unbreakable spirit. Standing firm in the face of hardship is not just survival, it is transformation. The journey is not about avoiding the storm, but learning to walk through it without faltering. And when the sky clears, it will become evident that every step taken through the chaos was never leading toward destruction, but toward the greatest version of self yet to emerge. Endurance is more than a virtue. It is a force that shapes those who are meant to rise. In a world that thrives on urgency, the ability to remain steady in the face of delay is a rare strength. The unfolding of events is never random. Every moment of pause is intentional, setting the stage for something greater. Timing is not a barrier, but a precision-crafted sequence, aligning every element before the next step can be revealed. The waiting is not empty. It is a process of refinement, a silent preparation for what is destined to come. Growth does not happen in haste. It is forged in stillness, in the spaces where patience teaches what nothing else can. What is meant will arrive when the foundation is ready to hold it. What seems like stagnation is, in truth, the clearing of unseen paths. The ability to trust this process is the mark of true wisdom. When the rush for immediate results fades, a deeper understanding emerges. Every delay is an orchestration, every pause an essential part of the grand design. It is not about passivity, but about knowing when to move and when to allow things to unfold. Strength is not found in forcing what is not yet ready. It is found in standing firm, knowing that what is coming is greater than anything that could be rushed into existence. Releasing what no longer aligns with your path is one of the greatest acts of self-liberation. The weight of outdated connections, limiting beliefs, and lingering pain does not belong in the space you are stepping into. True growth demands release, an unburdening of all that has kept progress at a standstill. This is not about loss. It is about making room for something greater, moving forward requires shedding what has already served its purpose, allowing space for renewal and expansion. Walking away from people, habits, or attachments that drain rather than elevate is not an act of detachment. It is a declaration of self-worth. There is no obligation to hold on to what diminishes, no reason to cling to what stifles growth. The doors that close now are simply making way for something far more aligned with what is to come. Letting go is not about erasing the past, but about refusing to let it define the future. It is the ultimate act of trust, knowing that the void left behind will not remain empty, but will instead be filled with what truly belongs. Embracing release does not signify weakness, but an unshakable commitment to stepping fully into the next phase of transformation. Reclaiming inner peace is an act of power, and the key to that freedom lies in releasing the grip of resentment. To forgive is not to excuse, nor is it to forget. It is to untangle from the chains of past wounds and refuse to let them dictate the course ahead. Holding on to anger does not correct the past, nor does it alter what has already been done. It only anchors energy to moments that no longer serve, keeping the mind and spirit tethered to places that were meant to be left behind. Choosing to let go of bitterness is an act of self-restoration. It is a conscious decision to no longer allow past harm to occupy space in the present. The process is not instantaneous, nor is it effortless, but with every step forward, the burden lightens. True strength is found not in carrying pain, but in setting it down and walking unshaken into what awaits. The past has already been written, but the future remains untouched. An open expanse where healing is not only possible, but inevitable. There exists a strength within, a force waiting to be awakened, a force that has been present all along, yet often remains dormant until the moment calls for its rise. This power does not emerge through force, but through revelation, through the gradual understanding of one's own depth. It is the embodiment of courage, clarity, and perseverance, a quiet but unwavering presence that refuses to bend under pressure. This is not the kind of strength that seeks conflict. Rather, it is the kind that stands unshaken in the face of adversity, unmoved by doubt, untethered from fear. To awaken this force is to recognize that every challenge is not an obstacle, but a call to step into something greater. The trials faced are not barriers, but initiations, each one sharpening resilience and deepening wisdom. The moment this power is fully embraced, hesitation fades and limitations dissolve. What once seemed like setbacks become defining moments of growth. This is not about mere survival. It is about transformation, about stepping fully into the vast potential that has always existed, waiting to be claimed. Once this power is fully realized, nothing can halt its momentum. The obstacles that once seemed insurmountable become stepping stones, and external forces lose their grip. No longer swayed by uncertainty or doubt, the path ahead becomes clearer than ever before. The journey is no longer defined by the struggles endured, but by the unshakable force of forward motion. Rising into this power is not a final destination, but an ever-evolving process, an unending expansion into greater clarity, deeper wisdom, and an unbreakable connection to purpose. With each step taken, the world begins to take notice, drawn not by words, but by the undeniable energy of someone who moves with certainty. This is not just about personal transformation. It is about becoming a living reminder of what is possible, a force that inspires others to uncover their own potential. Nothing and no one can diminish what is meant to ascend. No opposition can undo the strength that has been forged through experience. Every challenge faced has prepared the way, ensuring that nothing stands in the way of what is meant to unfold. The journey forward is unstoppable, an unfolding of limitless potential, an undeniable force moving toward destiny. Every moment you have faced, every obstacle overcome, and every truth you have embraced has led you to this very point. The journey you are on is not random, it is intentional, designed to shape you into the highest version of yourself. Growth is not always comfortable, nor is it predictable, but within it lies the power to transform everything you once thought was impossible into reality. The road ahead will continue to challenge, stretch, and refine you, but it is also filled with boundless possibilities waiting to unfold. Trust in the rhythm of your path, even when it feels uncertain. The unseen forces guiding you have always been present, aligning circumstances in ways you cannot yet fully comprehend. The delays, the struggles, the moments of doubt, they are not here to hinder you, they are here to prepare you. Know this, nothing meant for you will ever be withheld, and nothing that tries to stand in your way can withstand the force of your destiny. Every step forward is a declaration of who you are becoming. Move with conviction, embrace the unknown with an open heart, and walk boldly into the infinite possibilities ahead.